Hey guys, Lee from Overbite Gaming here, and as you can tell by the thumbnail, this is my review of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Now, brace yourselves ladies and gentlemen. Oh my god, they've done it. EA have actually made a good Star Wars game. Okay, well, Respawn have made it with minimal EA interference, which is a business model they should follow, as it did very well in Apex Legends and continues to do well here. It's not a perfect game, but it is a very good game. In fact, I would say it's probably the best Star Wars game we've had since Force Unleashed, maybe, the first one, because the second one wasn't as good as the first. But anyway, so yes, Fallen Order, it's set between episodes 3 and, I guess, Rogue One nowadays, but there you are. And you play as Cal Kestis, a Jedi Padawan that had to go into hiding after the infamous Order 66 at the end of the third movie. And guess what, guys? He gets found. Oh no. Yes, he is working as a scrapper and has to use his force powers to save one of his workmates. And there's a probe droid around and it reports on him, and he's got Inquisitors, who are these sort of Sith that exist to hunt down Jedi. And it all kicks off from there. I'm showing footage in the background, but only from sort of early on, because who wants to be spoiled, especially for something that's actually story-driven, single-player. Hello, EA, what you doing? I don't know, neither do I. It's all weird. Up is down, down is up. Yes. But yeah, I got it Friday, day of release, and I finished it Sunday. Day not of release, but rather 2 days afterwards. I didn't play it very much on Friday. I think it took me 17 hours in total to beat. So it's not huge. I mean, I didn't get all of the collectibles because there are a lot of collectibles to get, and there's a few bits and pieces I still need to do. So, but I finished the main story in about 17 hours. Gameplay-wise, it's a third-person sort of semi-actioner explorathon. It has sort of platforming, pretty much ripped straight from Uncharted. It does have you need to use the left trigger to actually climb, though. So there are a few instances in the footage I'm showing you where I've dropped down to a lower level and just expected him to grab it, and he kind of hasn't because I haven't pressed the trigger. That was my fault, though. That's user error, so that's me being a dickhead, not the game's fault. The combat is good. It is very good. It is a little bit Dark Soulsy, but if you didn't like Dark Souls, don't necessarily let you put that off. It's nowhere near as punishing. You can actually play it on story mode, in which it's a whole lot easier. Now, unlike a lot of games, it also does difficulty really well. It doesn't just make the enemies real big sort of health tanks. What it does do is it changes their aggression. It changes changes the timing window you have for parrying, and parrying is a big thing in this game. And that's how it compensates for difficulty. So, yay, something else it's doing right. You go to, I think there's 5 different planets in all. You go there, and you know nothing about the place, basically. You need to explore. And there's no fast travel, and some of the planets are pretty big. Now, some people may be like, oh, for fuck's sake, I go to this temple, now I've got to get all the way back to my bloody ship. Now, I kind of liked it. It kind of made it feel like a realer place for me, because normally when you go through a mission, you go through all this environment, you're just like, yeah, won't see that again, go through it, blah, 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 blah. And off you go. With this, you have to basically actually start to learn the layout of the land. So you're like, oh, I recognise this bit. You know, I've seen this before, so I'm on the right track to get back to my ship. You do have a holo map. It's okay. The holo map is okay. It does have different layers and can be a little bit confusing sometimes as to where exactly things are and how to get places. But it does an okay job in showing you the sort of general direction in which you're going. Now, if you don't like expanded sort of landscapes and running around and like working out how to get places, and also it does have a Metroidvania air to it, because there'll be places on your map which are yellow, which means you can access but haven't gone that way, or there's red, which means you lack the required skills or equipment to get that place. And then obviously you get that later on different planets and then come back. There are a couple of planets where it's mandatory to come back to. Other ones you can just come back to find the additional collectibles, or just grind for points. But let's face it, a lot of the times when you grind for points, it's because, oh shit, I'm underpowered for this. I don't think there's ever an encounter where you're underpowered for. Even if you don't invest in the skill tree, it's going to make it more difficult. But generally speaking, you are as... I mean, there are buffs you can get saying that, but generally speaking, if you can parry and dodge effectively and are skillful enough to do that, you don't really need the skills. There are stuff that in there, like you can have more force meter and more health, and your lightsaber can do more damage, so they are handy. So you wouldn't want not to invest into it. But if you're skillful enough and you can get the combat down with fine art, then you don't really need anything actually. You're just like, oh, whatever, I'll go on. It is not a particularly easy game, but it's nowhere near Dark Souls level, trust me on this, fellas. I completed it. I think I died twice from combat. I think just twice. I had deaths, but they were like where I'd fallen off a ledge or mistimed a jump, because there is a lot of platforming in this. I was able to get through it. I am terrible at platforming, as you've seen before, so don't let that turn you off. It's good, solid, Uncharted style platforming. There are a couple of instances where you think I should be able to jump across that and you can't, so you just jump off and fall. There's a couple of little bits like that, not too much, but they are there. There are lots of collectibles to find. They're all cosmetic. Well, I keep having to backtrack because I keep fucking this up. So they are nearly all cosmetic. You will get the occasional workbench, which gives you an upgrade for your little droid, BD1, who's very cute, by the way, and comes across more of a character than any other droid in Star Wars for me at any rate. But like all the collectibles, generally speaking, are cosmetic only. And they just change your outfit colours, your droid colours, your ship colours, and the way your lightsaber looks. Now, there's a huge addendum to this. I pre-ordered, so I got some extra cosmetic bits. And it did say premium. Now, I don't know if they intend to introduce any more premium stuff. Being EA, it's possible. But it's certainly, from what I can see, there's no real sort of gameplay advantages you can get for any of it. It's just cosmetic, so you don't need to spend money, even if they do. There are slots for more lightsaber colours than I had. I don't know whether it's because I've not found them or whether they're intending on introducing them. You do get to a point in the game, you start off with your standard lightsaber colours. I got a pre-order one as well, so you got blue, green and orange was my pre-order one. There is a point in the game where you can construct your own lightsaber, and then you can kind of choose for a few more colours when you construct it. So you can have a purple one or a yellow one. I think I went for yellow myself. So that's pretty cool. One thing the game is missing is there's no dark side, light side dichotomy. You're pretty much light side Jedi. There's no back and forth. There's no sort of morality system. You can't get access to dark side powers. You basically have 3 powers, which is pull, push, and sort of slow time. There's a few more tied up into the skill tree, but they're not really usable. They're just sort of part of a combo, or gives you extra combat options, that sort of thing. There's nothing like force lightning or force choke, though. A little bit disappointing. I always liked being able to play through a game once as a Jedi and then once as a bad guy, Sith, force user or whatever. Just because being a dick to people's fun. Doesn't like that. I've shocked the fuck out of it every time I play Old Republic. Don't talk back. Zzz. Nice. Now make me a sandwich, bitch. Anyway, guys, I think I've rattled on quite long enough. I had to pause a couple of times to collect my thoughts, and I'll edit it out, obviously, because like that would be professional if I left it in there. Or just forgetful. Place your bets. But yeah, guys, please, please, please buy this. We want to encourage EA to actually make more of this, to let Respawn work their magic and not fuck them over like they did with Titanfall 2. Respawn are an excellent company. They're so good at what they do, and there are some Titanfall 2 little influences in this game. There's wall running, for instance, which is straight out of Titanfall 2 and works just as well in that. So please go out and buy this game. I know Snare's not buying it, which I will continue to work on him about, which is why I'm doing this review by oneself. But yeah, it's a great game, solid 8 out of 10. It's the best Star Wars experience I've had in a long, long time. And I was a fan of Battlefront's 2 Starfighter mode. I still play that to this day, you know. They've actually done a good job in clearing that up after the initial debacle. But anyway, this is about Fallen Order, and you should buy it. The characters are fun. Cal is a little bland. I don't really think that's his fault, but he has to do the traditional tortured Jedi thing. We've just seen it so many times before. So I don't think we can lay the blame at Cameron Monaghan, I think his name is. The guy that played Joker, or Proto-Joker, in Gotham. He does a fine job with his performance. Graphically, it looks stunning. All of the environments look great. It's built in the not the Decimary. What engine is it built in? It's the Frostbite engine, isn't it? All the environment looks great. There are some faces which are a little bit, I don't know. So you have like hair that's like seems to be higher res than the faces. So that's a little weird, but they're not ugly or off-putting or anything like that. They're still good. So guys, that's my waffle on about Fallen Order, and a personal thank you. Because of Fallen Order, I was able to take a weekend off from walking across the Scottish Highlands trying to maintain my balance with a baby. Thank you very much. And thank you, EA, I guess, for letting this happen and actually giving us what we've always wanted for. And I'm not going to say I told you so, because I did release a video basically saying, give them a chance, they're actually giving us the game we want. Fuck, told you so. Sorry, couldn't help it, damn it. Anyway guys, we release videos every Wednesday and Saturday, and if you want to subscribe down below, we would really appreciate that. It helps out the channel a lot, as does liking it and sharing. And if you do happen to subscribe, ring the bell. You'll get notifications on the toilet when something new comes out from us, and then you can be like, oh good, I've got something to entertain myself other than, you know, boobs and stuff. Anyway guys, take it easy.